And we are live again. It's been a couple of days. So last time I promised I would be back the day after, but it's been a couple of days. Yeah, I've been busy. Um, Not anything very important in particular, but still, I've been busy, so I have not been able to do these live streams. So I'm going to wait just for a little while until more people are joining now. That's awesome. And yeah, but let's hi there, Rusty Shackleford. Good morning, and Ian. Good to see you. I am in my office, as you can see, and the reason for that. Good morning there. 132123. Good morning. The reason why I'm in my office is that it is still completely dark outside. So either I would have to do these live streams later in the day, but then you would be, well, that's hi there, Steve. Aloha. Nice to see you as well. I was going to say I can't do them later in the day because then you will be asleep over in North America. That's not true, obviously, because you would just be woken up, I guess. But for me, it's not very easy to find time in the middle of the day to do these live streams. So I think there will be quite a few indoor live streams because of the season. It's the dark season, and either I will be walking outside in the dark and you will see nothing, or I'm in here in my office. So yeah, YouTube just deleted 800 subscribers from my main channel. So thank you, YouTube. I'm glad that you are policing the whole system there and making sure that yeah, you know, we don't cheer too loudly when things are going great. You know, when you put in some extra effort in your editing and your videos, and you know. So yeah, thank you, YouTube. I'm guessing that you want to you're calling it inactive or fake accounts. Of course, we both know that that's not true. I don't buy subscribers. I don't do anything like that. You know, I'm just, you know, just doing my best, fighting for attention against the people who paint themselves red and eat strange stuff, and the celebrities that you promote. So yes, it's good to know that you're giving the talk show hosts airtime here on YouTube. It is your tube, I do understand. It's not mine. That's what it's called. Should not be called YouTube, because then I was being very foolish. I thought YouTube means you, like me. It's my tube. Yeah, hooray! But it's not like that. So, but still, you can go on deleting, and yeah, people are still coming to my main channel, and you know, so 120,000 subscribers very soon. I was right under 120,000 subscribers a few minutes ago, and then you just took 800 away. So, okay. I'm done with the rant now. So just had to say that, you know. Yeah. So I was actually planning to talk a little bit about the not seeing any comments now. I'm not sure if this works or not. Hmm. And not many people have joined this live stream, I realize. Hello. Maybe it's just a little bit early or late or whatever it is, but we'll keep doing this live stream. Okay, hi Steve. Yes, yeah, yeah. I don't. It's not like it's a requirement that you use the chat. Of course not. I don't expect that from anyone. It's nice though. But anyway, just want to say that about the main channel, and I was, yeah, something's definitely going on here. I am seeing the stats on the screen. There's something going on, I think, in the whole YouTube system right now. Hi there, Tony. Good to see you. Yeah. So I had kind of prepared a little bit of a talk about the upcoming plans and strategy and so on for this channel and the main channel. But then just before I started this live stream, I discovered that YouTube just deleted 800 subscribers, just like that, from the main channel. And that makes me think, what I was going to say. Okay, so what I was going to say was that my ideas and my talks about being a human being in our so-called modern society, and especially being a man in the so-called modern society, it's something I want to talk more about, and it seems like it's something that people want to hear about, and because it's important. I mean, 50% of the population are men, and we live in a society very much where masculinity and being a man is looked down, is, at least by mainstream media and the people who shout the loudest. And these days, that's the same people in a way. It's being looked down upon. It's being frowned upon. So we need to fight against that. We are moving very quickly now towards society with less freedom for individuals, both men and women, less, what's the word? Sensuality, is that the word? We're moving towards a moralistic, Puritan, boring society. And you can, it's, yeah, and androgynous as well, I guess, but it's like, okay, here's what I want. I want a society where when I go out, like outside of my garden, and when I go shopping, groceries, and when I move about in society, I want to see. I'm being honest here. I like to see nice, pretty women. I like to see that. It's nice, you know. not talking about you. It's not about, you don't have to be a certain size or age. It's not about that at all. It's just my, as a man, I'm attracted to femininity, you know, and I'm seeing less of that. It's I'm seeing less of that, and that's actually for me a bigger problem than um, it's a bigger problem than the lack of masculinity, you know, because I don't really notice. Well, I do notice it, but it's not like it doesn't bother me as much. But I do realize it's a massive problem. That's why I talk about it, you know. Um, yeah, well, so we are not moving in the right direction right now, and it's very sad to see, and it's, you know, YouTube is probably not the best platform if you want to talk about that, especially if you don't want to fight against it, um, because it's run by Google, and Google is, it's just, Google is what it is. Yeah. But anyway, I'm here now, and that's how it is. So yeah. So okay. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go full steam ahead on YouTube, and I you can delete subscribers. YouTube, you can do that, but I will still be getting subscribers to my channels, and yeah, that's just the way it is. I think something will be happening in probably near future. I think YouTube and Google or you know, those people, the alphabet. It's funny, right? Alphabet. Yeah, isn't it called Alphabet? The whole the 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 company that owns Google, and you know, hi there, Luke. Hi there, Andrew. Um, but anyway, yeah. So let me get back to what I was going to talk about. I was a bit, you know, I was put off balance by seeing that they just deleted 800 subscribers, because I was going to tell you all that we just reached 120,000 subscribers on the main channel. That was what this live stream was going to be about, and I even got up very early, like 3 a.m., to do my writing before this live stream, because I really wanted to tell you all about that. You know, it's been, but anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But we'll keep fighting. We'll keep fighting. Thank you, but I'm not there yet, because they deleted 800 subscribers just before I went live here now. Yeah. Well, thank you, Andrew. Did they explain? No, Google never explains. No. What they're saying is, you know, a general statement that they are deleting inactive / fake accounts, which is just nonsense, because that's what they're saying, is that they are deleting accounts that you bought, because you can do that. Some people, they buy fake accounts so that the subscriber count will look more impressive. It's quite widespread, I believe. That's what I've heard. But I don't do that. Why would I do that? Um, so no, no. But anyway, um, I have a video that I filmed yesterday that I will be uploading on Saturday on the main channel. It's a little bit about the same, the same topic. It's not about the same, it's the same topic. Now let's see. Yeah, I know, Andrew, I know. Google, YouTube, it's like they are mapping our movements, our habits, our everything. So I actually have an idea. And the Indol says sometimes YouTube is like owning a goat. One morning you wake up and it is eating the tires on your car. Yeah. It's if I'm a little bit inconsistent in my speech, it's because I've already been up half the night, and I'm a bit tired. Yeah. Okay. So here was my idea. Let me know what you think. Let me know if it would catch on or not. It's like swap day, like swap, SWAP day. And the idea is you switch off your smartphone and you make sure you have a dumb phone, or another phone. It needs to be a dumb phone though. It's a dumb phone is the old-fashioned kind of phone. Yeah, so you just switch off your smartphone and give it to a friend, and he or she gives his or her phone to you, and you keep it in a car for a day, and you drive around with that phone. We need to do it on the same day, right? That's swap day, and it will confuse Google because Google is collecting information about your movements, even when the phone is switched off. So that would be quite, funny, because that would give them one day with data they can't rely on. So yeah, but I don't know if maybe people are so dependent on their phone now, the smartphone, that they can't go a day without it. It's it's proper addiction. It's scary, and I can say with honesty that I am not addicted to smartphones. I know, because I've gone several days without using my smartphone, and I am using the smartphone now. I'm using my smartphone doing these live streams because I haven't found a mobile solution for doing these live streams without the smartphone. But I don't use it for. I use it for the YouTube statistics and watching YouTube videos when I'm traveling, even in the house actually, because the TV is very often on, and I don't find much on TV very interesting, so that's why instead I watch YouTube videos. But that's, I don't have like the social media apps on my phone. I don't have my email on the phone. It's very limited what I'm using it for. So the swap day, yeah, I don't know. I would love if it could be, like a thing that we do this. Um, yeah. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about smartphones now, because it seems like, well, first of all, it's a very important topic, and I can say, let me read this comment. Sid's dad, is that, did I pronounce that correctly? Says outstanding idea with major ramifications. Face recognition on the newer phones is scary. Yes, it is. So I can tell you that when the new um, when the new iPhone came out now recently, oh, I really wanted that phone. That was my initial reaction. Oh, the cameras, you know, that would be awesome. The new cameras. But then I realized it has all sorts of tracking devices, like facial recognition, I believe, and all that crap. I don't want that. I don't want that. It's enough now. So I'm not going to buy new phones. So eventually, the phone I'm using now will, since you can't change the battery, it will be worn out. The battery will be worn out, and I'm back to using only dumb phones. Yeah, Luke says, I will never spend another dime on a smartphone. I agree. So I think smartphones are great in a way, but the way it's become now, it's just a it's just a tracking device. It's a data collection device, and I think people can decide for themselves if they want that, and some people will say, no, I don't mind. I don't mind if companies, international companies, collect data about everything I do when I sit down on the toilet, when I wake up in the morning, when what I do online. But I don't think it's okay, and that's why this is my last smartphone here. Yeah. So, yeah, Andrew says perhaps it is only a smartphone because some people aren't smart enough to live without it. And here's another thing. I did a video on my main channel about this, and I basically said that it's stealing your life. And I have looked more into this, or to be more precise, I have looked at how other people use smartphones, and I've found out how to stop being dependent on a smartphone. So what's happening is this: more and more functions, more and more ET, good morning, more and more stuff that you do on your smartphone. So let me give you one example. If your kid has a cold and has to stay at home from school, what we did was, you have a little notebook and you write, well, my kid has a cold and had to stay home, and and the next day the teacher gets that note, and obvious one, good morning, and that's it. That was how we used to do it. Now they said, well, you have to use an app on your smartphone to tell us that your kid is staying home from school. So there's one more thing you have to use your smartphone for. for instance, another example, people use Facebook Messenger. I don't. I never do. And you have to use a smartphone for that. So again, another thing that you have to use your smartphone for. Yet another example is if you buy a modern car. It will have a smartphone app, and you can you can use a smartphone to warm up the car if it's cold outside. So you end up with a multitude of things that goes on your smartphone. So everything you do on your smartphone. And you think for each of those functions you add to your smartphone, you think, well, it just makes everything simpler. Well, maybe it does, but you end up with so many things that you are using your smartphone for. So in the end, everything happens on your smartphone, and you will therefore have your smartphone glued to your hand, and you are using it all the time. So it's been a while now. I started saying no, I will not add more functions to my smartphone. That's actually how it started for me. I think I was kind of addicted. I think I was addicted to the smartphone. I was. And I started to say no. The first thing I did was I deleted the Facebook app. And then I started realizing that no, I won't add more functions. And it was like, well, call up some company and you have a question and they say, well, go and download our app and you will have access to these and these functions. No, I won't. I won't buy from that company then. I won't. So that's how I, put a stop to the whole smartphone insanity. Yeah, 5G. Yeah, let's move on to 5G. There are topics that I am a little bit reluctant to talk about because the science behind it is not conclusive. It's not like I have opinions which I cannot back up by consistent, the science says this, the science says, I'll give you one example actually. Soy will reduce your testosterone levels. I believe that. But I also know that there is science, that there are research that kind of contradicts it a little bit, but I wouldn't take the chance, So, but I'm not going to talk about that now. Let's move on to 5G, because 5G, the Internet of Things, that whole insanity there. 5G, when it comes to 5G, and I've looked into this, 5G, well, the research behind it, and it's very conclusive that it's harmful to living beings. It's harmful to humans. 5G will affect our health in a negative way, and the research is very consistent on that. So what the big companies who are selling these systems to the governments in the different countries, what they have done is that they are presenting a financial lucrative deal, and they also conveniently present some research that make it look like 5G is not harmful. This is an old and well tested and tried strategy for implementing changes in any society. We've seen it before. We have actually lots of examples of that. And 5G is just one other harmful thing that they will add to our society. We had it, with asbestos is one example, cigarettes, another example. It was all in its time viewed as and presented to the governments as safe, because the big companies, the money involved it's huge. The big companies, they choose research that fits their narrative, So 5G, now let's see. Yeah, 4G is harmful. Yes, I know it is. So yeah, energy drinks is not so healthy. I agree, but and I have a little bit of an addiction, maybe not a physical addiction to energy drinks, but because when I was traveling now in Germany, I didn't really have time to get any of those. And I didn't. Well, maybe I missed it, but it was okay, But the thing is, the biggest difference between that and 5G is that I can stop drinking energy drinks, and sometimes I do. For a few days, I don't drink them. 5G, you can't really stop being exposed to it because it's not up to you. But let's stay with the whole smartphone 5G thing there. Let's stay with that. It's closely related to what I was initially talking about here, about YouTube just deleting 800 subscribers from my main channel now, just before this live stream. It is, some would say, oh, you have 119,000 subscribers. It's why do you complain? Well, I put a lot of work into it, and I know those accounts, they are not fake accounts, because you don't get fake accounts to subscribe to your YouTube channel for free. People buy for that. People pay money for that. Well, thank you, Luke. Thank you. And I don't buy subscribers. It's, as I said, why would I do that? So hi there, Joseph. Well, I'm doing okay, but yeah, as I was saying, I was planning to celebrate with you guys because 120,000 subscribers on the main channel. We were just almost there, and then YouTube just deleted 800 subscribers. But with the rate, if they don't touch the video that I uploaded about men in my men don't do so well in cities, big cities, just stay out of the cities. Yeah, that video is organically getting a lot of people to the main channel. So if YouTube doesn't hide that video now, well, they might too, but if they don't hide that video. We will get to 120,000 subscribers in a few hours, actually, because it's moving very fast now. So, yeah. Well, thank you, Kitty. And yeah, it is at this point the main channel. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Yes, if you share the videos, it helps. So I had this idea, you know, that maybe the main channel could be how should I put this? It's not really about me at all. It's about. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I was hoping that the main channel could be a place where it could help people change their lives in a positive way. And I'm not really into changing society. You know, that's a bit. I don't think that highly of myself. It's not up to me to do that. But if I can make people question parts of their lives so that they will make a positive change in their lives, I think our societies will change because the people change. That's because we're not moving in the right direction. We're not. So well, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. So because I was, you know, I've been looking at the development of our societies. That's part of my job as a novelist, actually. And I just, yeah, I don't know. It's very difficult to find the right words for this. I just feel that it's very motivating when people tell me that my videos have helped them in a positive way. It's my videos are making their days a little bit brighter, and you know, it means a lot to me, actually. Yeah. Norway, where I live, is very vulnerable. In many ways, I feel that we are still sane. We are still sensible here. But we have so many people now, and that are pushing for changes in a very insane direction. It's not the people you might think would do that, you know. And I really don't know where those people are. Those people, but you see them in. I don't know. They work maybe in the news. Well, news like this. News. We do like this when it's not really news. It's not news. It's propaganda. And I will. So I will now read the Norwegian news for you. And it's like this every day. Norwegian news. We have two news channels here in Norway. Two. too. So I'll read the news for you now. It's very easy because it's the same every day in a way. And it goes like this. I'm now a news anchor, the people who read the news. And I have a piece of paper here, so I'm looking down. Hello. So here are the news. A big rock almost fell down in the sea. And President Trump is a very bad and evil man. Now, the weather. So that's the Norwegian news. Every day it's a little bit like that. So, yeah. Yeah. It's like, of course it's not that bad, but you know, you get the idea. Yeah. No, Google needs to be taught a lesson, and that's why I think we need to do something. You know, the swap day. For those of you who just joined the live stream, swap day was my idea here, but I don't know if it's possible. People are too addicted to smartphones, but the idea is you get a dumb phone, like the old-fashioned phone, right? And so you have that as a backup. And then you switch off your smartphone and you give it to a friend or relative, someone. And that other person, so you swap smartphone with the other person, and you keep the phone from your friend in your car for a day or two, and you drive around with that phone. It's switched off, but it will still send out signals to Google. It actually does. And they will be confused. And that's the whole idea. I like the idea that we will have one day where Google and I don't know which other companies are getting the information from the smartphones, but I know Google is one of them, and Facebook as well. And I don't know if Google and Facebook gets the information when it's switched off, but I do know that it is sending out information even when it's switched off. So the idea is that we one day when the data will be so unreliable that it's useless to them. That's the swap day. So yeah. But again, you know, maybe it would be too much to ask of people to live one day without a smartphone. You know, maybe that's just too much. I am using a smartphone now, but as I said, it's my camera, and I don't use it for many other things. So that's I don't have a problem leaving my smartphone at home. You know. Or Tony says, send it to yourself in the mail and leave it on. Yeah. Yes, and Luke says, if you talk about something not on your phone and an ad pops up for just that, it's pretty unsettling. Yes. And I remember once when we were watching one of those Marvel movies, because the kids, you know, they love the Marvel movies, the Iron Man movies, and it's not for me, you know. I don't like those movies at all. But so we were watching those, and I had the smartphone in the room, and the suggested videos on YouTube after that was trailers for those Marvel movies. I I don't think I've ever searched for those or looked at those videos on YouTube, but that was what YouTube suggested, because the phone had been listening and recognized the film being played in the room. So there you go. Yeah. And here's a nasty one. Well, Deutsch, Mark und Heide. Oh, I'm a bit late, I think, but good morning to you. Oh, good morning to you as well. And rest of the tribe from Germany. Best regards, Stefan. Um, yeah, Alexa. Yes. Um, I I I wouldn't recommend using that. So here's a nasty one. um, leave your phone. Yeah, this is you must close your ears. This live stream will probably be, I don't know, uh, hidden, something like that, in the system anyway. So here goes. Um, you know, especially men. I don't know if women do this as well. They like to use the smartphone while they're sitting on the toilet, right? So why don't we just use why don't we use our smartphones only while sitting on the toilet? So we leave the smartphone there, and that's the information they get. I'm sorry, but a bit childish. It is very early, and yeah, you get just crap from the information they would get would be literally just crap. But yeah. um, yeah. So that's yeah. I'm a little bit. My humor is a bit childish sometimes. It's like yeah. That's they can have that information, right? Yes. They'll get info about your diet. Well, yeah. Or have fake conversations, like you can. Well, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do, but I like the. I liked. Yes, a good laugh is the gift Loki gave us. Yes. I like the swap day ID, but you can send it to yourself. Um, things like that, to confuse them, you know. So I had one thing happening while I was in Germany. So here's food for thought when it comes to conspiracy theories, right? So I was in Frankfurt in Germany, and my guess is that compared to Norway, I don't know. I don't. It's just an impression I have that maybe in Germany they are policing people more than in, for instance, Norway. So there was one conversation I had, and it was very strange. It was very strange. I thought first that the person I was talking to didn't hear what I was saying, so I repeated myself. But then that person said the same things, and it went around once, twice before I understood that it was just being played again and again and again. And that person had hung up or finished the conversation, but it was still being played and played and played on my phone. The same words. I would guess it was about between 10 and 30 seconds being played again and again, and it was so hard to recognize it because it was just perfect. It ended, it was a loop, right? So it ended at the exact right place in the conversation, went back to somewhere in the conversation a few seconds earlier, so that it wasn't that easy to recognize that was happening, but it went round and round in loops. So what was going on there? I've never had that happen before, and it was really strange. Really strange. I wasn't talking about anything. It was just a business call, actually, but it was very strange. So, yeah, I don't know what was happening there. Let me know if anyone has had that happen. I didn't like that at all. Yeah. Yeah, so we have to fight against with peaceful means, of course. We have to fight against the move towards more control, more we have to fight against the loss of our personal space. Well, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Because that is what it's about. If we lose our personal space, if we have someone looking into everything we do, we don't have freedom. Trish, good timing. Freedom, yes. Andrew, like the loop I was talking about, twice today. I get those calls often, especially since I started using Telegram, even with my number hidden. Yeah. When I was traveling in Germany, I had both my phones, and I had two smartphones, one business phone, one private phone, and normally I don't bring them, but because I had to be accessible at all times, I brought both my smartphones with me, traveling around there in Germany, so I was tracked all the time, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, I have to end this live stream now. I have to get my kids off to... I have to get my kids off to school. And yeah. Well, thank you, Tony. Yeah, Robert, that might have been what happened. Well, thank you, Trish. And thank you, Ian. Okay. I have to end this live stream now, and I hope to be able to tell you next time that the main channel did reach 120,000 subscribers. YouTube can only set us back that much, can't stop us. Okay, take care, bye-bye.